the Spanish Inquisition.
We are still preparing, but holy shit, Jolly, thank you so much for the raid. Let me get a shout out for you super quick. We'll be starting up proper momentarily. Stick around. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy time zone, everybody. This is the Road to Dusk. You can call me Road, Dusk, anything that you would call a friend. I'm a dream usher, so I focus on sleep, dreams, and the imagination to help create an environment where we can learn to be the better versions of ourselves. And I have company. Say hi, company.
Hi.
Hi, company.
I also have Peanut Gallery, so I might actually switch to the PNG just so that there's like visual representation that we have multiple people on the same mic tonight.
I mean, you could always just have 2 live models going, assuming that you have a live 2D for your...
I have the
companions on
PNG and
this.
everything set up for theirs, but I haven't been able to rig it yet.
Oh, gotcha.
And we're
Missed as a peanut.
we were also trying to
Peanut?
see if we could hype it up and save the debut of what they look like for their streams, Magnus, until like their proper start.
Well, fine. Have a sense of the dramatic. See if I care.
While we are here, I do want to give a quick reminder. I actually haven't updated the milestone, but we are striving for getting 250 followers so that we can do a giveaway. When we hit 250 followers, everyone that is following the Twitch as well as being part of the Discord or subscribe to the Twitch for extra entries has the chance to win some free art. So if you want to have a chance for getting some art, feel free to follow, spread word to get the follows out so that we can get there sooner. The thing says 239, but we are actually at 240, so we are only 10 away from the big 250.
Joy, no, you're a filthy communist.
Does
I just had to. I thought it was funny.
Does that mean I have to leave for being a filthy communist?
No, you're a clean social democrat.
That.
I don't think I've heard someone describe me as clean before.
Oh, you're everything but your mind's clean.
With all my stuff here, we now have my
okay.
unidirectional mic too.
Oh,
Yeah, the blue Yeti.
we should have set that up earlier.
Yeah. But we could have... Wait, no, we haven't had a stream since, so yeah.
Yeah, no. The last time that we used your omnidirectional mic was from DID Awareness Day.
Uh-huh.
But since we are doing stuff for...
Of a blue Yeti.
But since we're doing stuff for art, let's go over to the art.
Indeed, we don't want to make this a drawn-out process now, do we?
Let me be sure that you guys are of decent size. There we go.
So,
I'm average size. I mean, what?
I don't know, you seem pretty big to me. So, I see a cat boy.
Yep.
Or perhaps a cat person.
A cat bean?
Cat bean.
Cat bean indeed.
I now have a proper 2-monitor setup too.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, my
So,
back hurts.
Is this somebody specific's commission, or is this something else?
Well... Do you want any guesses, or do you want it to... Or do you want me to just say it?
I have a very solid guess, but you know me, I like being spoiled. So the better question is, does the person in question want it known?
I know, do they?
Go ahead.
It's Yo's.
Yeah, I figured it was Joe's. Looks like their style.
That entire time I was tempted to just say it.
Miss trying to ruin all the fun. Like the little cute peanut they is.
Oh, they're a peanut?
Well, I mean, Ro called them a peanut gallery.
Yeah, that actually does sound pretty descriptive of them. You're not wrong.
Keyword being the nut part.
Oh, well.
And here, I thought that's only when cat's out.
Well, I mean, there's also Castor.
Yeah, true. I suppose he's got a few nuts lying around too.
You better do.
God damn it, Caster, back off!
I don't know.
Maybe a few nuts loose. Okay, that was actually probably a bad joke. I didn't really mean it like that.
That
That's
did not
okay.
even
We're not gonna
register.
make you shell out for a proper one.
He just almost said in your mouth.
Show.
Show. Let it all out.
I think you
These
heard what
are the
Pastor almost
things
said.
I can
Yeah.
do without.
Come
Come
on.
on.
I'm talking to you.
Oh my.
Oh my god. You at least heard, didn't you?
I was not even processing.
When freaking someone said
The lights
he
are
has,
on, but nobody's home.
I
nuts or
am
something,
trying to draw and work on art, damn it.
And be
Caster
cute at the same
almost
time.
said aloud in your mouth to response. What the fuck?
Oh well.
Someone said
I'm-
something about having a lot of nuts, and you almost said it in your mouth.
I mean, Caster, you know how to make that happen.
Ay, ay.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it won't be that much to swallow.
I don't know if my mic fucking picked it up. They sound like a fucking tea kettle.
Yeah, I heard him.
So,
Damn it!
the thing that always strikes me, I don't get any passwords out of the mists when you do this.
Nope, we just get screeches. Well, this is because the mists are more of that they are more switch. They are not pure bottom. It's only from pure bottoms that you get passwords.
Interesting. And Legal says that they've put Road into the cute art box. Well,
Ah.
hello, Legal.
I
It's
keep
good to see
forgetting to
somebody
make
so
the
cute here.
cute box. Hope you've been doing well, Legal.
Well, Road has had passwords earlier, but not because of
Legal
anything
says that
sexual.
Selene goes in the
Oh, well.
extremely adorable huggable cute box.
I got excited.
Oh, thank you for putting me in such a nice box,
Say
Legal.
that Twitch friendly.
I will just I don't know 100%. I would err on the side of caution. Let's just say Euphoria.
Yeah.
I'm confused. What was the question?
The Thanatos was asking me, hey, is the context of like why I was like super giddy and created new passwords like TOS safe. I said let's err on the side of caution,
Legal had a
and
burger.
I'll just say the
No.
reason on what led to the passwords is euphoria, specifically gender euphoria, and I'll leave it at there.
Ooh.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
And
Started
legal.
tea recently and started experiencing some effects.
Ooh,
Ooh.
what type of burger, Legal?
Ooh, burger.
I mean, also congratulations on the tea. Damn. But
This-
yeah, Legal. Tell
Today
me
was
about this burger.
officially my 3rd week.
Let go.
And also, if you want to
Congratulations.
see the actual context, it is in NSFW General.
Which means that if anyone wants to know exactly what we are talking about, feel free to join the Discord.
Ah.
Do know that when you hop in, obviously, like our streams here, the community is 18 plus. And do know
Oh.
that you have 10 minutes to verify that you've read the rules. Otherwise, you will be temporarily booted by one of the bots.
Cheeseburger.
Here to combat against hate raids and utter shit.
Well, a cheeseburger sounds quite nice.
Cheeseburger is nice.
Burger.
Alright.
Remember, during World War I, they called them freedom patties.
Which is so stupid. Also, Thanatos, get over here.
Huh?
Get over here.
For what?
Ah,
What's
Whoa.
that? I have to know my fucking game!
Kaneki! How's it going, buddy?
Hello, Kaneki. Good to see you. Let's see here. So I suppose I owe one as well with that, don't I? Ah-da-da.
hard to do because I have a cough drop in my mouth.
Eh.
I good to see
Actually-
myself.
That's just a little too full to really let it all out.
To double check, Yos, what eye shape do you want? Like, do you want more almond? Do you want more round?
I don't know eye shapes well, so I'm trying to think.
B.
I'll go with more round.
Square.
Kaneki.
Square eyes? I mean, those certainly do give a very specific impression. Rod, do you want to demonstrate?
I
a
mean,
couple of different
technically,
eye
I'll have
shapes and see
I'll
which
have
one
a pair of
fits best?
square eyes on top of the eye since they'll have glasses like me.
Yeah, very true.
Mhm.
See, big brain.
Mm,
Ugh.
big brain as well. So many big parts.
I just realized you don't even use a stylus.
Nope. I talked about this like months ago when I was doing a
Oh, wait.
collab with Tiny Foxtrot. When I'm on my iPad, I don't use a stylus. I have an Apple Pencil that a friend of mine online, I'll call her Rhiannon. Rhiannon gave me a first generation, like she bequeathed me her old first generation Apple Pencil.
I also have these.
I haven't fucking used it since I got it.
Oop.
When I do shit on my iPad, I use my fingers.
Yep, it's all about those finger skills.
Perks of being
Thank you.
AFAB. You know your shit.
No.
Know your shit and use your naturally tiny hands.
I mean, I don't know that his hands are all that tiny.
I don't think so.
I seem to recall they were pretty similar size to mine.
I know Ryes are tiny.
Can we get off this topic before I say something I regret?
Oh my god.
Well, why are you going to regret it, miss?
Because NSFW.
I mean,
Because
I already know where it's going.
Yeah. So, why don't we bring up the
The question
icebreaker
of the what
question
ancient culture?
in the yeah. So, what ancient cultures does everyone here know? Are there, and to maybe expand upon that, are there any that you don't know? What legends from what you do and don't know do you
What-
like?
Do you know of the culture?
Oh, kind of like making the question more of like what ones do you might have some knowledge of but not a lot of knowledge, like say like you might know of the Etruscans but you don't really know about what their stuff was.
Exactly.
I obviously know
Man.
Hellenism pretty
Yeah,
well.
if I can
Ancient
start
Greece.
because I mentioned the Etruscans
Yeah, go
like
for it.
like I'm no expert in ancient history. After all, my specialty is going to be in Renaissance, early modern Eastern Europe. But by what I know of the Etruscans is, of course, they're one of the main cultures that influenced the Romans and other various Latin peoples, but especially the Romans, since that's usually who we think of when it comes to Latin.
About to
Of course,
say they were one of the predecessors to Rome.
but another thing I learned recently, and even though it is still slightly debated, they're actually the Etruscans might be Proto-Indo-European.
Really?
Mm.
As in, well, I know not proto, but pre-Indo-European. So they might be descendant of the people who were originally in Europe when the people of the Caucasian Mountains migrated to Europe, North Africa, India, etc.
Oh wow. The more you know.
Yeah. Like I said, it's still technically debated because it's one of those cases where a lot of their stuff was lost when the Romans took over and Latinized them. But that's just one of the things, one of the things that, as a historian, that I will probably cry myself to sleep every so often, every other night, is 99% of the writings of ancient history are lost.
Yeah.
The
Really is
freaking
disappointing.
Library of Alexandria.
Oh
Oh,
god.
I mean, it's technically even more than that, but yeah, especially that. Oh my.
I know
Although
it's just the most commonly known example
Yeah.
of so many prices.
And
once
even
being
then,
lost.
okay, everybody tends to think of the Library of Alexandria just as one fire, even though it's actually multiple fires that happen. It's just the case of the one with Julius Caesar and their invasion and his invasion, which the fire was accident in that case, is the most famous one. The one I think would be the one that I think should get more credit is the one that completely destroyed it, because it was still technically standing for a little bit after that, even all the way to the Eastern Roman Empire, but it was like really ultimately destroyed with
I was gonna say the fires were accidents, if I remember
yeah.
correct.
But it was ultimately destroyed, like finally finished off, I should say, during the rise of Islam and the fall of Eastern Roman or Byzantine Egypt, whichever word you want to use.
Oh, the Byzantine Empire?
Yeah, I mean, remember.
My thing is saying that air server. Why are you not?
Oh, I thought there was something. I don't know what.
No, there's supposed to be stuff going on.
Maybe try turn it off and on again.
Apparently, it disconnected, so stream has not been showing what I've been drawing. I've just been hyper focused. All right.
I'll be honest, I wasn't thinking anything of it.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
I didn't notice because I've been watching in person.
Yeah, you have that luxury, Thanatos.
I'm literally just watching him on the literal iPad.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah, it's just one of those cases. Like even before the Library of Alexandria was destroyed, there's so much like ancient literature we don't have, and it's like.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, think also of like one of the first things that comes to my mind is like the Celts, the Picts, and like one, we don't know a whole lot when it comes to like the Celtic migrations, and especially in regards to like Irish literature, we don't know a whole lot. Even though for a long while there was Ogham as a writing system, it was considered too sacred. It was too sacred for things to be written because they were so content, which understandably so, as annoying as it is to think in retrospect, like oral traditions were and are very much a thing.
I think actually we were having that conversation the other day, and also in retrospect to like the Norse runes.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of examples of the Norse runes, though, don't we?
I mean,
yeah, but they didn't really
Yes.
write anything down, like as in like their history and their stories. That's the reason why we have to
No.
rely on people like Snorri or whatever the hell his name is, who was a
Snorri
post-Christian.
Sturluson, and yeah, because like a lot of the stuff that we have, not only in Ogham but also in runes, weren't necessarily anything truly like writing anything. They were more like marks of graves and such. Like one of the few full sentence things that we have in Ogham is effectively saying, "Here lies this person, son of this person." And that was and we have slightly more archaeological evidence when it comes to the use of runes, because some of them, because also just
Legal
how
says
broad.
that you are also smart.
Because of also how broad Anglo-Saxon peoples and Germanic peoples were, and the use and the like complexity and the derivation of runic inscriptions that there were. We have a lot of example. We have
Legal
a lot more
says
examples.
That everyone in stream goes in a cute box.
Of just a lot more evidence of like communications and such. It's kind of where like say Heilung gets a lot of their influence regarding some of the songs that they do, because they not only do like early, like they don't just do late Old Norse, early Icelandic, they also use a lot of very interesting archaeological evidence, and it's so amazing.
But hold on real fast. Legal says we're all smart and that we're all going in the cute box.
Thank you, Legal.
I wish more cultures in the past weren't purely oral, because you get some amazing things from cultures that have things written down. Like there's a gravestone in Rome, and what the inscription translates to, if I remember right, is something like all the things that kill you are, I think it was wine, food, and women. But all the things worth living are wine, food, and women.
That just makes me think of like technology. Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
Also, Yos,
like
ear flutes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
But like
So-
get so many like anecdotes like that are just so modern, even in some senses. Like it shows that people really don't change that much. Like humanity hasn't
It's
changed
like,
that much.
It actually reminds me because of one day I was talking to my professor for well, I mean, technically her specialty is actually German history, but she was teaching French Revolution history type thing, and she was going along the lines of like how she doesn't really believe in the saying of like if we don't learn from the past, we're doomed to repeat. It's more of a case of like humans now tend to say the same. It's just a case of like the stuff like the crap like the circumstances of the past can repeat and we don't learn from that.
Also, what were you wanting to say, Celine?
Well, I was trying to make sure I'd been pronouncing Jose's name correctly, because I've heard you calling them Yos,
Yos.
but I've
Oh,
never...
I'm okay with whatever people say.
Ah,
I
gotcha.
remember I actually have some other stream friends you probably know like Etoile. Y'all know her?
No.
Well, in her case, in her group, they just call me Valeria or just Valeria. Because they all just can't get the JozuaValeria. I'm going like, just call me whatever you want. I don't mind.
We've been using Yos because it's Dutch, and in Dutch, is it Dutch or Polish?
This one's the Dutch one. If I wanted to use the Polish one, it would be an E instead of an A.
Okay, so Dutch, J's are pronounced like Y's, so Yos.
Yeah. Although I think in Polish J's are also pronounced very Y-ish. I'm not 100% sure.
So, but I have no clue. But and also something else is the Odyssey and Iliad were both completely oral at first before they were recorded down. And that's why we have a lot of evidence of how different oral compositions could have been proposed and like the techniques used. Things like one good example is what is called a speaking name, which a speaking name is a name that means its translation.
Legal says that we believe that Selene is a good friend.
Part the person did in the story. So like kalupso means to hide or bury. Kalupso.
Legal says that everyone here is adorable and amazing in every
kept
way.
Odysseus on her island for 10 years. She was a nymph. And so
Remember
what she
this
did
roughly.
was basically hiding Odysseus for that number of years, and that's why her speaking name means to hide or bury.
By the way, ads are on.
Oh, damn, ads are going.
20 seconds.
Okay. At least we don't gotta wait too
15.
long.
10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. No. We're back.
Yee!
Okay, as I was saying, in ancient Greece they had speaking names in the Iliad and Odyssey, which speaking names are names that indicate what someone did in the story. One example is kalupso, which means it's from the word kalupto, meaning to hide or bury, and that's because she kind of hid Odysseus through in the story. And so that speaks to her role there. Another speaking name, if I remember right, was I think it was Melanthius, which Melan means like black or dark, and he was the bad shepherd because he was the one who betrays Odysseus to the suitors and was honestly kind of a dick. But also another one, which I kind of noticed, is the other one who was he was the pig swineherd. His name was Eumaeus, which "eu" is the word for good in Greek, EU. But yeah. Yeah, so, classics major for years.
I know it's interesting, and this is stuff that's new to me.
Yeah, speaking names seem to have been very common. Another one, which, I can't remember what his name. It was like Amphima. I can't remember, but there's another one that was also kind of a speaking name. His name started with Amphi, which means both, and he was one of the suitors who kind of couldn't choose a side. He ended up dying anyway because he wasn't choosing a side, but his name literally, he couldn't choose a side, and his name literally meant both because it was derived from Amphi, which is
That's
also
what you
where
get
we
for
get
being fucking
amphibian.
Switzerland.
And that's also where we get amphibian from, the Greek root.
Yeah, it's amazing how languages just all basically come together in some way, shape, or form eventually.
Yes.
Well, also that's because science takes a lot from Greek and Latin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do not get me started on the Latinization movement.
Crap, what was something I was gonna mention though?
You're talking to someone who was taking college Latin.
Look, like Latin as a language, lingua latina, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The amount of white supremacy and utter bullshit that has been instigated by the Latinization movement within English, absolutely the fuck not. Bury it.
Oh yeah.
Bury it and kill it with fire.
It's more concerning when, of course, it's German being used for it, but it's all equally bad.
Yeah.
There's even like because even though yes, I take pride in like my Polish roots, there's still a lot of problems in Poland today and everything.
Yeah.
Because while yes, they have made progress and stuff, it's one of those things, and I think I mentioned this to Celine one time. Like, is my explanation is like, I think they're just going through kind of their reactionary phase because being under toxic left oppression for a long time, of course, and not also just not really having a country for a long ass time since, the third partition of Poland was a fucking thing.
Right.
And I think it's just a case of like this kind of what happens when you have a culture that was being oppressed for so long that in every sort of way that it's just going to have a go through a toxic phase in order to just finally get over it.
You're not wrong, because also look at Germany and what happened to Germany and what led to World War II.
Oh yeah. Although before the rise of the no-no Germans, as I'm going to just call them, it was actually one of the most liberal countries at that time. I mean, you might have like, I don't know, like if you probably know it because of being trans and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were like the German science communities during the pre-Nazi times were actually some of the leading researchers into sexuality and gender studies.
Oh yeah, and like Europe and like the time was a lot more tolerant of trans folks than we give it credit for one, and two, there were a lot of expanses when it comes to like medical knowledge. Like the very first attempt of
It actually reminds me of stuff. I'm gonna try
I
and
forget
find
the exact
it.
procedure of it, but like Lily Elba, 1920s, Denmark. Though also
you're talking about transition services, correct?
Yeah. Though the irony of that is like while Lily was able to transition and like go through medical procedures, she and her then wife, when she didn't realize that she was trans, when Lily came out, like the Danish government was like, we accept you being trans, you are a woman, but we don't like sapphics.
I mean, yeah,
It's
sounds
definitely.
like the times.
I'm trying to see if I can find it because I actually saw something a long while back on Pinterest with since I get some of my history memes that way, and a lot of very interesting ones, like ones that I don't learn, like I learn about that way, and I just research it, and I'm going like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool. But I'm if I can find it because it's from a news article. But there's this one lady. Initially, like she was of course originally he.
Mm.
Uh, but when she was a he served in Korea and everything. And the
Mm.
newspaper article was saying something called basically it was a it's one of those cases where it's amazingly tolerant for that time period, saying that local war hero turned to beautiful blonde bombshell.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen that.
Yeah, and it's just one of those cases where like it's sometimes like it feels like yes, of course we moved and progressed, but sometimes there's always going to be that foot back too
Yeah.
at the same time.
It's always a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of scenario.
And sometimes 2 steps back and 1.5 steps forward.
Yeah.
Because I do, and I hate hate to say it, I mean, there is times where I can agree with the whole idea of being so progressive you're regressive, but even that's a rarity, though.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, there's always going to be that toxic variations of bullcrap.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of, like, one of my favorite history YouTubers, you probably might have heard of him, Alternate History Hub.
I've heard of him, yeah.
I haven't
One,
heard of that one.
overall amazing. He of course he criticizes his early work because he feels like it feels more low budget and stuff and not as everything. But of course you're going to say that because you progressed and you grew.
Yeah.
Another thing I like about him, he's a fellow Ohioan, but unfortunately he lives in Texas. God help him.
Oof.
I
But
mean, living in Ohio isn't really any better.
yeah, but I still feel
I
like Texas is a downgrade.
coming from someone that had to live in Ohio for the entirety of their adolescence, from the horror stories that I hear of regarding Texas, no offense to any Texans, but especially for LGBT folks, Texas is a lot worse.
Yeah, with the exception of probably Austin and Houston.
Well, that's a you would. I think it's a relatively good assumption that most popular cities, like Austin and such in Texas, and Cleveland and Cincy in Ohio, most metropolitan areas are going to have a much more liberal ideology and a lot more tolerance to minorities.
But before I forget, because going back to where since we kind of went on a tirade, But
Tirade
yeah,
or
he in
tangent?
a thing like I forget what specific thing. I think it was like in the what if scenario, like how he predicted, like say we enter War 1 faster, or I think it was more had to do with like Teddy Roosevelt getting a third term instead of getting the unfortunate disaster that was Woodrow Wilson in presidency. In which he
Wait,
mentioned like
why was
with us going
Woodrow
in the war.
Wilson a disaster?
Extremely racist. He segregated the federal government. He fostered the second KKK, and he was also pretty much like he wasn't really the founder of it, but he helped push the idea of the Lost Cause movement.
Holy
Oof.
shit, I didn't know that
Yeah.
about him.
Oh yeah, and he's also like one of those people where like it's a my way or the highway thing, and felt morally superior. He's kind of also one of those type of people where he pushed the idea of America being the shining city on the hill.
Oof.
Ugh.
Yeah. All sorts of stuff.
All kinds of lovely,
But
lovely, icky bullshit.
But in the thing, like he argued, like say, because honestly, we probably would have entered early if Teddy Roosevelt had a third term. And he argued, like, since we would have entered early, the war would have ended sooner because, of course, you have like the fact that whichever side we would go on, of course, he thinks we would be on Entente. But honestly, I think, considering the amount of pro-German sentiment and how even some historians today will argue that they see the World War I as more of French aggression. Which I could go into detail if you want me to on that in a few.
Hmm.
That I honestly think we probably would have sided with the Germans, especially also another fun fact: Teddy Roosevelt and Kaiser Franz Joseph of Austria were friends.
Oh wow.
Yeah, close friends.
Well, also,
But
speaking of like all this, I think I remember seeing Alternate History Hub make a video about the only successful coup d'état in the U.S. and it was over, and the people that instigated the coup d'état were white supremacists,
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I think that
and that
that
was in the
wasn't.
1890s. That was 30 years
Yeah,
like roughly 30 years before World War
yeah,
One.
and I'm pretty sure that wasn't Alternate History Hub. I think that was his friend Emperor Tiger Star,
Oh, okay.
I
and
know how it's supposed to
and that
be
was a
pronounced.
coup d'état in New Orleans.
I know it's supposed to be pronounced coup d'etat, but every time I hear it, all I can think is
Coup
coup
d'état.
d'etat. I,
Uh,
for years, didn't know how it was actually pronounced because I'd only read it in books, okay? And I didn't know how to speak a lick of French. I still don't know how to speak a lick of French.
See,
Other
and
than
Well-
what French overlaps with German.
So what I'm
which is
hearing is
surprisingly a lot.
we need to get a group together, and you and I can study some French, and then maybe you won't be mispronouncing things so horribly.
Uh-huh. But before I forget, because I'm still not done with the one thing, but
Okay.
like in the thing, like with the fact that the war would have been over, like Russia went to thaw into the October Revolution, or what's the October, whichever one was one that the communists took over the Russian Provisional
That was a
Republic.
Bolshevik revolution.
Yeah,
That was just
I for-
around the Romanov massacre.
yeah, but pretty much like pretty much he argues since that variation, that toxic variation of leftism didn't, if that toxic variation of leftism didn't take power in Russia, causing us to have like that whole ideological divide, we could have probably had some like fairly leftist policies here in the United States because, well, since that toxic form didn't pop up there, we wouldn't have the fear of it. For
Right.
example, Teddy Roosevelt was a big supporter of the idea of universal health care in the United States.
Wow.
Weren't you telling us the other day that one of you guys had an Anastasia's face?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
Anastasia. Blech.
Yeah, it wasn't Anastasius that had the special interest in the Romanovs.
No, the princess.
Yeah, Anastasia.
Yes, that's what I mean. I went to say Anastasia.
You went to say Anastasia, and then you pronounced it kind of Latin-esque.
Yes.
Here's
Which
something
is
funny.
accidentally one of your system's names.
Okay.
Look, the main reason on why actually Anastasius uses Anastasius as a stage name because it comes from like Anastasia.
Excuse me.
Like Anastasia to us is a very pretty name, but if we remember right, there's something in relation to like the name, like the etymology of the name Anastasia or Anastasius that means like something related to like immortal.
So
Maybe
similar to
that's-
something derived from animus?
Maybe.
Yeah, it makes it. Oh, you know how like
Well, animus and anima meant in Latin something more akin to the spirit.
Soul.
Yeah. Animus was in relation to, I believe, the feminine part of a masculine soul, whereas anima was the female part of a masculine soul. Animus was the masculine part of a feminine soul.
Oh.
And then
Well, there
there's
you
like,
have it.
it's like Animus Mundi or Anima Mundi, I can't remember which.
The spirit of the world?
Yes.
It may have been anima because a lot of European nations tend to have the idea of the Earth being a feminine entity.
Such as Gaia.
Mother Earth.
I wasn't meant to cut you off. I was just
No, you're
being
good.
like, I
Stimmy.
know. My brain is just...
Because yeah, there's Gaia in Hellenism, there's Eru, Anya, and Fodla, all of them sovereign goddesses in Irish paganism.
Roma. Wait, no, that's the wrong...
What?
No. No, I think... Is it Romana?
Roman?
Oh,
Religio Romana is the religion of Rome.
yeah,
But I think
Mm.
Roma is the word for Rome in
Yeah,
Latin.
Roma's just Rome. And it's also Italian.
Yep.
Yeah,
Roma
my brain just
Italia.
shorted because there's also
The Romani.
yeah,
Uh,
Romani people, which they're called the Roma?
and tend to be called gypsies.
Yeah, so Roma is the singular, Romani is the plural.
Yeah, I was thinking singular was Roma. And I was like, wait, that's not right. I'm looking for the word for Rome, and I'm like, wait, no, the word for Rome is still Roma in Latin. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, and also, quick etymological lesson. Um, I and my system personally do our best not to use the word gypsy, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that, understandably, don't like it. It's actually a slur against the Romani, because it came from the misconception that the Romani came from Egypt.
I actually knew that. And I always thought that was a very interesting well, mistake.
Right.
I mean, it's like how Native Americans are often called Indians.
Yeah, that's because Christopher Columbus and whoever the fuck else thought that they were in India.
Actually, that is a common misconception.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, even in his own writings, and of course you have to translate from medieval Spanish and or medieval Italian. He never once said that he believed that he was in India or in East Asia or anything. He actually knew he was in a whole completely different area, but he just didn't know where it was or why it was.
So then why Indian?
But once again, it's one of those cases like pedantics and stuff.
Ah, okay.
I mean, ultimately, the Americas are named after Amerigo Vespucci instead of named.
Yeah.
Well, even though yes, some people call it Columbia still too.
Yeah.
Hail Columbia, happy land. If we don't burn you, I'll be damned.
Oh, whoa?
That's a play on the song Hail Columbia, and let's just say Union soldiers in Sherman's army might have been singing that on the way to Columbia, South Carolina.
Oof.
Oh, I gotcha.
I mean, as a fellow Ohioan to General Sherman and General Grant, it's my damn duty if another Civil War happens to burn down Atlanta and Columbia.
Put.
I don't know why you always talk about being an Ohioan. Is that like a... Is there like a
Okay.
weird thing with Ohio of being proud that you're from Ohio or something?
Weirdly
Yeah, kind
enough,
of.
yes.
In Ohio, our thing is we'll make fun and hate Ohio, but none of y'all can.
Basically.
Interesting.
Like you have to
It is a
have
super weird thing. I've never even understood it. Why
You have
Ohioans
to
get
earn that
offended
damn
when
privilege.
Because
non-Ohioans get
I was like, here in, like, we never really take pride in our freaking state. Like,
I don't like
what we're called isn't even related to the name of the state.
Yeah, like
Oh, Hoosier?
folks from Indiana aren't called like Indianers or anything like that. Y'all have a nickname of Hoosiers,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is also ironic considering a lot of Ohioans also go by the nickname of Buckeyes, because Buckeyes are so common
Mhm.
in Ohio.
If I remember
Our
right,
state
when I was
nut.
looking it up, the reason that those from Indiana are called Hoosiers is because there was someone who was famous way back when who used to talk about how he liked to hire people from Indiana to do the work that he needed. And these people who were doing a lot of this work, and I think it was like a lot of railroad work, so like around the US, were called Hoosiers boys. And then over time, we became Hoosiers. So we're literally from someone's last name.
Right, which is interesting, though I'm also interested if that's more like a folk etymology.
It's actually That's actually kind of reminds me of a fun fact of where we get the term hooker from.
Ooh, Gib?
It's another case of it comes from somebody's name. It actually comes from General Hooker in the Civil War.
Huh?
He was actually one of the leading. He was the leading commander of basically the garrison fort for longest time, the garrison forces in D.C.
Nice.
And his soldiers would tend to, well, since they never really saw any action, and the rest of the Army of the Potomac did, they got bored, and sometimes they would go see ladies of the night, and
That's fantastic.
they tend to get those ladies then tend, even though like he may have not had anything, we never know, he could have went and seen one a few times, but you never know. Tended to get the name hookers girls, and
Oh.
that just slowly turned into just hooker for as a alternate name for prostitute. Yeah, it's just one of those little things that you learn when you study this stuff too much and learn little tidbits.
Yee.
Because
Something you
history,
said I was going to comment on, and I can't remember it now.
Nyeh.
uh, I actually do have a theory on the Ohio thing.
Oh?
Because if I know Ohio gets a lot of bad rap, especially since recently we've become the Florida of the North.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure Ohio man can beat Florida man any day of the week. Fight me.
I remember. Ever heard of a Hoover heater?
Yes. I don't know
Road?
why it is, but I definitely heard that term.
Road?
I have not.
A Hoover heater is literally it's a metal barrel, like a large metal barrel.
Oh, because of President Hoover, and
Yeah,
it's
that
going
you
to be
burn
like
fire in to heat. Yeah,
during
and it
the
was after President Hoover. It was a way of making fun of him because he didn't help the Great Depression. Also, I think
he's
there was
actually,
like Hoover camps or something like that. There's
yeah,
several names.
Hoover Towns.
Yeah, Hoover towns. There's several names that literally was mocking the president because he didn't
I am
do
going to say
shit.
this. He is one of those cases where he was a good person at the wrong time because he actually did want to help, but his own financial philosophy is what prevented him.
Well,
At
yeah,
least in the
that
case of
doesn't.
like the point of view of government, he was more of a believing in private philanthropy.
Well, even so, he might have been a
He
good
still fucked it
person
up.
in his personal life, but that does
He
not
still fucked
mean he
up.
made a good president at the time.
Yeah, it's one of those cases like maybe if he was president during a little bit of time before, because he actually did almost become the Republican nominee in 1920. Maybe if he was president from like say 1920 to 28, he wouldn't have been associated with it, and we probably would have remembered him as a decent or meh president, and meh as in like one of those presidents you don't really think of.
Yeah, well, anyway, and
Cause
also now you have the Hoovers, which are a company of
vacuum.
vacuums. Yeah. I don't know why those are called Hoovers now, but yeah.
Hold on, I didn't even remember.
It may be because, like, because of how a lot of companies start, it may have been named after, like, the founder or something who also had the last name
Yeah.
of Hoover.
Yeah, that's true. You know, in Britain, a lot of, like, they usually don't say vacuum cleaner, they just call them Hoovers. If I remember correct. Or at least one area of Britain.
I do want to say one fun fact because I remember, like, because since we were talking about Hoover, kind of unintentionally reminded me of him. Okay, so I'm going to give you a hint. It's not Kamala Harris. Who was our first minority vice president?
Our first minority
I'm
vice
going to
president.
drop off the call here,
I don't
X3.
remember any of our vice
Have a good one,
presidents.
Celine. Thank you for hopping over.
Oh,
I don't remember any vice presidents, to be honest.
well, our first minority vice president was actually Charles Curtis, who was half Native American. I almost said American Indian,
Oh.
but yeah, I forget what tribe he was, but he was born on his mother's reservation and everything
Oh,
to
wow.
a white white and Native American couple. And yeah, he was President Hoover's vice president.
Dang.
Of course, this is back during the time when well, the Republicans were at least socially liberal back in those days.
Right.
It's interesting how at one point the Republicans were the Liberal Party, and now they're the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
It's one of those cases like, okay, so I'm trying to
Nothing
remember
wrong
what
with
it's
doing a
called.
history and drawing
Uh,
stream,
The
but
thing,
history
the
is
one
one
thing
of
where
my
you
weakest
have like the
subjects,
thing
and the
where
odds
like
of
if
my
you switch the
contributing are
switch the
infinitesimal.
pieces of a boat.
Theseus's ship.
Thank you. That's there's actually a case wherein, and Celine, if you Celine, you could have still contributed or at least get like ideas for whenever we do the stream for yours.
Yee.
But
What's going on?
Celine kind of hopped out of the VC in conversation because history is not really one of her strong suits, and yeah.
and also
That's fair.
just having you around
I'll
was
still
just
be lurking
it
in the
was just
stream. I'm just
nice.
not much good on the
I'm
call
just
But,
X3.
filled with a lot of random fun facts.
But yeah,
My
the
strong suit
thesis.
is medicine.
But yes, the thesis ship thing. Thank you. And one of my another YouTuber I like knowing better. He did a video on like the whole like party switch stuff, and he used that as the title card stuff. And basically, he argued, and I can agree to a lot of his points. It's not just one party switch like the party switch that you tend to think of like in the 1960s with JFK declaring that Democrats were for like integration and stuff. Civil rights, that's the word I was looking for. It was more of a case of like there was multiple party switches over a course of time, with for example one of them even being during the Great Depression when FDR became president, where the more fiscally conservative Democrats ended up switching to the Republicans, and more interventionist Republicans went to Democrats.
Oh wow.
Yeah, interventionist mean like interventionist economics.
I have work tomorrow and I don't want to go. Damn it.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna have to end stream like early for tonight, so that this one over here can get some decent rest.
Wah.
Wah,
Penguin noise.
wah, 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 wah.
I just realized we did
What?
that on freaking stream.
Wait, why would Mid not be getting decent rest?
Mid is an insomniac, and currently,
Late day sleep
I mean,
cycle
other than your
disorder.
tongue.
Oh, I thought she was they was Animaniac.
so for context, Thanatos is doing orientation for their new job, and that means that they have to wake up at the ass crack of dawn.
Tomorrow I don't have to be there till 10.
Yeah, but how long's the drive gonna be?
Oh, it's only 15 minutes.
Okay, good, because I remember today you had to go like an hour and a half out.
Uh-huh.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, and apparently they don't tolerate tardiness. I ended up over an hour early.
That'll show him.
The Timbuktu and back.
Well, who's late this time? And you know what? I think the nurse was even fucking late. She was like 2 minutes late.
Huh?
Oh, oh, commercial.
Oh no.
And it's 3. First one's done.
Nice.
Ugh.
Alright. I should be able to get the line art of all this done before the end of stream.
My joints.
Oh no.
I'm getting old. Help.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I shan't.
Third one.
Sorry, the only way I can help is by killing.
No.
No.
Not around.
Yeah, I'm not going to. That wasn't a...
I know joking, but I also say jokingly. Death is not allowed. I say completely jokingly. We have Victorian England rules for that. For those that do not know, super.
Well, I mean, we're still in the commercials. They're not hearing this.
Unless they are
Okay, now it's
subscribed.
back. Well, yeah. Oy,
I just got back from adverts.
Ugh. Speaking of Victorian England, did one of my mods update yet?
Mods for...
Victoria 3.
Sounds like I'll need to
Ooh.
check out the VOD.
It's specifically just a mod that has a independent Poland in 1836.
Interesting.
I may or may not have prevented the unification of Germany a few too many times just by being an independent Poland. And I may or may not have put the Russians in their place.
2 raiders from
Oh
Tiny
goodness!
Foxtrot have joined.
It's a tiny.
Tiny
Tiny!
Foxtrot just raided the channel with 2 viewers. Fox stream. Welcome raiders. Tiny Fox raid.
Tiny Fox raid, Tiny! Thanks so much for hopping over. Thank you for the raid. Fee,
Tiny,
Fee,
Tiny
I
raid
also
last
see you're
time?
there. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's been doing well. We are currently doing some art, cause why not? Brain is not wanting to work with trying to do a little intro bit. Sorry, were you going to say a
Thank
thing?
you for the shout out also.
I'm trying to remember what we were
Thank you
talking
for the
about,
shout
'cause I
out.
can't.
It makes me wait for
Ah.
shout outs using shout you out. Sorry. You are fine.
I know earlier we were talking about something. I'm an insomniac.
Yeah, I talked about having to end stream early, so
Yeah.
around midnight-ish, in order for you to get some sleep. And Celine was asking why does that have to be a thing?
Yeah, because I'm an insomniac with late phase sleep cycle disorder. So I have barely gotten 4 hours of sleep each night this week.
I mean, I had 2 separate naps because I had a busy day and stuff earlier. But because of some bullshit that's happened and stuff, I legit did not sleep last night, and I had to run
Insomnia
on a
friends
5-hour
unite.
energy for a meeting with union and corporate.
Ooh.
I had to drive 3 hours on 2 hours of sleep.
God, I hate driving.
Yeah.
Also, Tiny said Insomnia Friends Unite.
I have, see, I think Monday I got maybe, see, when did I get to bed? I probably had only 4 hours of sleep. Tuesday, probably got 4 hours of sleep. Wednesday, probably got 4 hours of sleep. It's becoming a trend.
Stretchies and hydrate.
Oh. Thank you for... Oh, and Stretchies too.
I've probably had 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night because my natural sleep cycle is 2 a.m. and I cannot get to fucking bed before 2 a.m. But I've been having to be up by 8 a.m. to go to fucking work. And I cannot wait for this training to be over because then I am going to be on a 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I'm just I want it.
That sounds like absolute fucking heaven.
Yes.
Almost heaven, West
and
Virginia.
Only 3 days a week too, which is going to be even better. I get 4 weeks off to sleep however the fuck I want.
Wait, 4 days.
4 days, that's work.
You said 4 weeks off. I'm like, excuse me?
Oh. Brain, don't work.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm surprised I didn't say a different number because my brain's not wanting to do numbers right now.
I get medication zoomies
69.
around 4 a.m. every day and end up waking up every hour. Meds make me go Country road.
Specified learning disorder, math fluency, but I'm pretty sure I actually have dyscalculia.
I don't know what the frick that is.
Dyscalculia is a struggle with numbers,
XD, you broke
and it can
TBS for a
sometimes
sec
even
and it was glorious.
and can sometimes even affect your sense of balance.
Oh.
Sense of directions.
Hey, road make
telling
with
your
the
left
Bardic
from your
inspiration,
right,
you
your-
goober.
It can
Oh.
affect your ability to remember names.
Hold on just a sec. Celine, you redeemed this at the most hilarious time. Hey, Mid. Or Thanatos, remember what we were talking about regarding street babies and shit?
Sweet home Alabama.
Country road,
Take me
take me
home
to the place I
I
belong.
belong.
West
West
Virginia,
Virginia,
Mountain
Mountain
Mama,
take me
take me home,
country
country
road.
To the place
road.
I belong.
All my memories gather round her. Finest lady, stranger to the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. My poppy was from West Virginia, so I have to know that by law.
Oh, damn.
Of course,
Yeah, you just calling me your string baby just sounds so many levels of wrong.
I'm never going to say that actually.
Have
I am
listened
only
to the
ever
Toad
going to say
version?
it in jest.
Okay, I was about to say there is some weird
Toad version.
connotations there, and I don't.
Wait, the Toad? Oh! Oh, wait, you mean like Toad from Super Mario? Yes! That is so cringe and I fucking love it.
I'm afraid to ask, but then again, there's a Area 51 version of Field Suffer done by Sabaton.
Oh.
Cause yeah, you remember the whole Area 51 raids shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I probably mentioned it before, but you know Sabaton,
I love
they're a
Yes.
metal
Quantum
band that do
Chandelier.
songs on history.
My girlfriend
Yeah,
discovered them
there's somebody who
recently.
did a cover of that, but for like the Area 51 raid.
See, I used to like Chandelier until Sia made music, like the film music, and turned out to be a really shitty person.
I think Rosebud, my partner, discovered what was it?
I think of two
One
things
of
with Rosebud.
Sabaton's? What was it?
All I know is the name of your partner makes me think of two things. The
Hmm.
end of Citizen Kane, or whatever that movie is with Rosebud, and the cheat code for money in the Sims 1.
Well, I call her that because her first thing she ever gave me was a spell jar containing rosebuds.
Aw.
That's adorable.
So that's why that's my nickname for her. And I'm not gonna say her name on stream for
Well, yeah.
reasons.
Right.
But you were saying about the Sabaton thing?
Yeah, Rosebud found it was Night Witches by Sabaton and started getting into them.
Oh yeah, Night Witch is an amazing song about an amazing group of women who bombed some Nazis. And you know what? That's always that always has my approval. Another
I've seen
song
that
that
movie.
if that one specifically hits like a certain notes or whatever you want to call to your partner, another because of the whole fact that it was about like some amazing women in history. Another song I recommend is called Lady of the Dark. That's one of their more recent songs. It's about I can't remember her name at the moment, but even if I did, it's Serbian, so I probably would butcher the pronunciation. But basically, the best way to describe her is Serbian Mulan.
You can send it to me in DMs because I am not
Yeah.
gonna remember anything.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Yeah.
But it's about
Anywho, I need to get ready for bed. Have a great
she
night, all you
lied
gorgeous
about
people.
she took her brother's place in the Serbian draft when World War I happened. And she had being one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated soldier of all World War One.
Also,
And
Tiny, thank you so much for the lurk. Hope you have a good night.
And miss, there you are. Boop. Okay.
I just realized I forgot to do something I was supposed to do for work. Oops.
Do you have time to do that, or is it?
Maybe.
Well, hop to it.
Perhaps. Chop chop.
do it now, get it over with, especially if there's a deadline on it.
And also, if you do a nap now, you're going to wake up at midnight, fuck up your sleep again already. Because it's 11, at least my time.
I mean, like, later, as in, like, in the morning.
In the
I
morning,
would still
in the
say do
evening.
it now, get it over with, so that you have less to worry about and don't risk a panic attack right before you have to drive.
Agreed. But yeah, well, let me bring it up again and see if I can pronounce her name. Ah, my ears. Fuck, how the hell do you... Milunka Savic. I'm gonna go with that and assume that it's right. But yeah, she was a Serbian woman who served in the Serbian army. Even after they discovered she was a woman and stuff, they were like, honey, you're just badass and we just love having you fighting with us, and you literally just basically took out the whole entire Austrian army by yourself. But yeah, she was one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated soldiers of the whole entire war.
Damn.
And actually, one interesting thing, like there was this one thing of like soldiers and stuff meeting up during after the war, like one of those soldiers reunions. And people were confused and stuff on why she was there, like maybe thinking like she was the wife of a soldier and stuff. But no, she just showed off the whole, like her answer to the question was basically just taking off her coat
Also
and showing
lurking
off the
because
fact that
I'm
she
at
had the
work,
most
but I'll
medals in the
unmute
whole
the chat
entire
every
room.
so often when things slow down.
And all specifically for her.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Also, all good, Fee. Do what you got to.
But yeah, it's just one of those another case of one of those things when you learn something in history that is amazing story and you just go like, where is the goddamn movie about this? Because I think she's definitely one of those cases where she needs a movie about her.
She
But
does.
she at least has a Sabaton song about her, which I think is a pretty damn good good consolation prize,
Right.
if not a gold prize. Another thing that I think needs a movie is the Battle of Castle Eater, which is the subject of Sabaton's song, "The Last Battle." It's the last official battle of war of the European front of War II. Emphasize official because there was one more battle between Yugoslav fascists and Yugoslav communist partisan groups, but since they weren't official military, it's not really counted.
Right.
But Battle Castle Eater, it's one of those cases where it ends up
Legal
also
hopes
being one of the
everyone's night is
weirdest or
full of joy
most
and happiness.
Thank you, Legal.
uncommon battles.
Like, I hope that the same is done for your night as well. Also,
But yeah,
what was that, Yos?
Legal says that we must
oh yeah,
hibernate.
where I was going, like ends up being one of the most uncommon battles of the war because it's the only case of like say American and German Wehrmacht troops joined together to fight SS.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because one of those cases where like I know like sometimes people know it by other names, but what do you know of the liquidation orders at the end of World War II?
Nothing.
The liquidation orders were a series of orders. Sometimes they're called different names. Like one of them was the Nero Decree, for example. It was basically a thing saying like if Germany loses the war, or if Hitler gets assassinated, there was orders to destroy all the bridges, destroy all the buildings, kill all the POWs, finish off the Holocaust, etc., etc., etc.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's literally a whole entire thing in itself. And on some good news, a lot of the orders were not carried out because by this time in the war, even the Wehrmacht was done with with all the bad stuff, including and also the Luftwaffe, who were in charge of the POW camps, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not doing this shit. We want to end this war. We did a lot of bad stuff, and we need to pay for it," which was kind of the mindset of a lot of Germans by that point. Especially once the whole entire war crimes and stuff came out, and they were going like, "Yeah, we fucked up. But that's another story. But in the Battle of Castle Eater, so Castle Eater was being used as a high-profile POW camp, sort of thing. Specifically, it was like political prisoners and stuff from various occupied Allied nations. For
Right.
example, like the three presidents of France before the fall of France and stuff in 1940 were there. General de Gaulle's sister, several Olympians who won medals over German people, etc., 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 from the 1936 Olympics,
Mm.
and all that fun stuff. So they were there. Pretty much, they were hoping to be. It was a case where they had them so they can try and use them as leverage, like for like a negotiated peace.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. But by this point, like the castle was basically abandoned by all but one of the few types of one of the few I don't want to necessarily say good, but one of the few like legitimately. I still don't want to say because he's still an SS officer, but he was a case where he got promoted by merit instead of the fact that he was a fanatic and or related to official.
Right.
But pretty much he stayed there because well somebody had to stay there,
Right.
and he actually befriended a lot of the prisoners there. And when they heard that heard about the liquidation orders and that there was a group of SS harassing Austrian towns and stuff in the area because like they were like if Austrian town had like a white flag or the Austrian flag up, they just basically shot up the town.
Oof.
Yeah, so when they heard that, they sent actually I think it was a Yugoslav Olympian to one of the towns nearby that had like a case where the local garrison and the Austrian resistance were actually working together to protect it from those SS assholes.
Dang.
Yeah, and which are going like, hey, we noticed this thing. We know that they're probably going to come to the castle and kill all of us. Can you come and help protect us? And they're like, okay, sure, yeah, we'll do that. So they go there, but they realize they're outnumbered, especially with the whole trying to have their forces kind of split to keep the town safe and the castle.
Right.
So, uh, I forget if his equivalent rank was colonel or general, but this German officer named Wrangel, W. Well, it's probably pronounced Wrangel because it's Wrangl. But he decided to go and contact the American forces that were actually pretty much almost to the area and ask for their help. Um, he came into contact with them. I forget what unit it was, but they were led by a Colonel Lee. Yes, he was related to Robert E. Lee, and he was ashamed of that fact.
Oof.
Yeah, but he went like, "Yeah, we'll come help and come help it." But unfortunately, a good portion of that company was separated because the bridge that they were crossing collapsed.
Oh.
So only one tank and a portion of them were over there. So basically, they went to the castle with the tank, parked it in front of the gate, and they basically planned to hold them off until they could get the rest of the American forces over that bridge.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and yeah, they were holding them off and everything. The tank did get knocked out. Luckily, it didn't explode or anything, so the tank crew survived. And they're holding them off for who knows how long. I don't remember how long the battle was, but they were holding off these SS bastards for a long time. But they were starting to run out of ammo, so they start retreating into the castle interior. And kind of getting to the point where they were expecting it to be kind of a last stand situation. And during that retreat, the German officer Frengel, he got killed by a sniper, actually saving one of the French presidents. I want to say it was President Arnault, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So he sacrificed his life literally for another person from another country.
Hmm.
And they're getting to the castle and stuff, and they're ready to do the whole like basically last stand situation when just by a miracle, the rest of the American forces get to it, the castle. Like pretty much at the last minute. It's one of those
Right.
cases like saved by the fucking tank barrel. So those forces retreated, and this is 3 days before the war officially ended.
Wow.
Well, in Europe.
Right.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where like, honestly, it's one of those cases where I think like, God, we have this common enemy, and we should united against them a long ass time ago.
Right.
And I know and in the town near Eter, there is a street named after Frangel and a statue of him for his heroics on that day.
Dang.
Yeah. So yeah, one of those things. History is full of amazing stories.
Yeah.
Often horrible stories too. But sometimes you get some of the most amazing, yet gut-wrenching, yet tear-jerking stories.
Yeah.
Cause, and I have said this multiple times before to various friends, war brings out both the best and worst in humanity.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh. Stretch. I know there's no stretchies, but I need a stretch because of my arms.
All good.
Also, I didn't stretch during the stretchies, so I'm sorry.
Hey, all
Ooh.
good.
So what did Mist have to do?
I mean, they just have to sleep at a reasonable time.
Oh, I thought that was like something like a chore or something.
No, they just need to sleep at a reasonable time. Because
Hmm.
they has work. They has to be an adult. They has to be a contributing member to society.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
but oh, why can't it just be a cat? No works, no skulls, just meow meow.
That's a fucking mood.
Ugh. Ugh. Meow meow meow, your troubles away.
Meow 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 meow
I
meow.
oh god, I haven't seen that commercial in forever. That makes me feel old too.
Yeah.
You're making me feel boomer.
Oh wah.
Ow 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 ow. Tingle in my hair, tingle in my hair. Ugh. Ugh.
I could have been so bad just then.
What?
You going ow 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 ow. I could have done ow 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 ow.
You butt. You cute little butt. So when you initially did the line art right there, took a picture of it as like an overlay?
Wait, what?
Like because I know you showed me that and we showed me that that drawing earlier, and I'm just going, so you're using it as kind of like a thing, kind of like how like they would use like a tracer board.
Yes.
Mm. Nifty.
Because up until recently, thanks to Thanatos and the Mists, I don't have a scanner. So
Oh.
I have to use my phone in order to
Yes,
get a
you
better
do.
picture. I said up until you moved
Oh, oh.
Oh, okay. I kind of misunderstood because I thought you meant like they broke it.
in. No. No, the Mists moved in and they came in with their own printer scanner combo thingy.
Nice.
Yee.
Scanner printer. Ugh. Ugh. Hmm. Hmm. What other little tidbits could I bring out?
Hmm. Well, what are some other tidbits that you think people might be curious to know?
All sorts of things, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to narrow that down.
Fair.
Because yeah, I think that one thing with the Etruscans early is interesting, especially since once again debate on if they were pre-Indo-European or if they are still Indo-European, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
etc. But I think a lot of the evidence kind of leans towards the pre-Indo-European now,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to their language or what little bit of their language we do know.
Yeah.
Ugh. Could always bring up some of the stuff during the Great Migration period. And how it helped contribute to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Because that was a mixture of a bunch of bullshit.
I can only imagine.
Because, yeah, so, because you know how Earth has the cooling and heating cycles?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going through a cooling cycle at that point, so temperatures were kind of going down, so shorter growing seasons, etc., etc., etc. So that caused one group to move, that group being the Huns. In this case, not necessarily for the growing stuff, but more of like the fact that Huns were possibly Mongolic, possibly Altaic. We're not 100% sure, because after all, everything we know about them come from the Romans.
Right.
But they were, well, nomadic, so they probably did herding and stuff. So they were still had go to a place where they could herd their animals properly.
Yeah.
So they moved, causing the various Turkic and Altaic people to move, who caused the Slavs to move, who caused the Germans to move, who caused the Romans to fall. Well, the fall of Rome has more to do, like just the fact that they couldn't handle the mass amount of Germanic immigrants, but there's also that period of time where some people call it the barbarian invasions, which I think is kind of a misnomer because once again it was more of like just like don't get me wrong, there were some cases where it was legitimate invasions, but it was just more of a case of like, yeah, we kind of
Fear
just want to
mongering.
live here. Well, I was thinking more of like the fact that like, yeah, I kind of just want to move here because we can't grow crops anymore in our area, at least not for long, and we kind of just want to actually be able to live. We don't care if we live in the Roman Empire now. And it's just a case of like a mixture of the actual cases of legitimate invasions, such as the Ostrogoths, the Vandals, the Visigoths, the Suebi, etc., etc. Oh,
Right.
now commercials.
Oh.
But it's literally just the case where it helped shape Europe to where it is today. Not as much as say the Treaty of Westphalia, but still. Taco Bell when you want diarrhea.
Oof.
I wonder if it's the same ads for everybody or if it's just random ads for everybody.
I have no idea.
Because I had Taco Bell one. This one's currently a furniture store. Now it's Adobe Photoshop. Ay, why did he have to be 30 seconds long?
To make you ask questions.
I ask questions every day, but not because of this. I mean, at least this one kind of makes sense because it's art related. Okay. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying before, the ads and possibly interrupting other people. Yeah, basically that migration period helps shape the setup to modern Europe. Because one of the groups were the Germanic Franks, who, well, you can kind of guess by the name, they kind of made a country called France. Typically after they Latinized some.
Yeah.
And of course, like making early Anglo-Saxon with the Anglo-Saxon Utes going to England.
Yeah.
Remember, if we go with the multi-timeline or multi-universe theory, there is a timeline/universe where England's not called England, where it's the land of the Angles. It's called Sexland, the land of the Saxons. Just imagine having a country called Sexland.
Well, we would probably better pronounce it Saxland. Just to
Oh,
ensure.
I actually, whenever I see like the possibility of it, it has it spelled with a E because considering how we spell England with an E, even though Angles had A. But you never know. But yeah, a lot of stuff, and even then, like Roman culture as we know it didn't really die right away with the fall of the Western Roman Empire, because yeah, of course you have like the Eastern Roman Empire, even though it Greekified more. You had like stuff like the Roman Senate lasting like another possibly 200 years after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, working with the Ostrogothic kingdom and the Lombardians.
Yeah. And would you consider like the Holy Roman Empire an extension of the Roman Empire? Because the HRE themselves thought that they were a proper extension.
It's one of those cases where no matter which way I go, somebody's going to get pissed off when it comes to that sort of thing, because the HRE has like historians and kind of fans and stuff that kind of go either way.
Right.
I kind of lean towards it's not Holy Roman or Empire like Voltaire, but it's one of those cases where like since their argument is saying that they because considering Charlemagne an asshole. But Charlemagne the Great, or Charles the Great, whatever you want to call him, in France, or Francia at the time, since he was the first like Holy Roman Emperor being declared since he was declared the Western Roman Emperor by the Pope, that's kind of their main thing for it, which I'm going to give them somewhat of the thing. But even then, considering I don't, since I'm not Catholic and stuff, I don't accept the authority of the Pope. It just kind of depends on if you're Catholic and you accept the authority of the Pope, seeing if you see the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire through that way as a legitimate entity. So it's just one of those cases of pedantics and stuff again.
Yeah.
I heard Catholic what
Actually,
SF.
when
you said that, and Celine just said in the comments, I heard Catholic. What's up?
we were talking about like the legitimacy of the Holy Roman Empire, and how it was basically sent. If you are a Catholic and accept the authority of the Pope, you would probably see it as the legitimate entity of the legitimate extension of the Western Roman Empire, with the crowning of Charlemagne as the Holy Roman Emperor. Well, Western Roman Emperor, Holy Roman Emperor, whatever the title he used. Granted, there wasn't another quote-unquote Roman Emperor after Charlemagne for another 150, 200 years after him. It was actually Otto the German, who was the king of East Francia, who regained the title, creating the Holy Roman Empire as we really know it. Even then, once again, not Holy Roman or Empire, because after all, it was more like a confederation of bullshit. But even then, at least during Otto the German's time, it was at least one actual unified kingdom of Germany that everybody tends to forget actually did exist at one point. But it is what it is on that case.
Yeah.
For me,
Is
I'm
this
going to
a
go with
history
like
class?
no, though. Maybe if maybe if Charlemagne, unintentionally, yes.
It is very much unintentionally a history class, but I'm here for it.
But going with the one thing, if Charlemagne, because there was actually a compromise, because the person who was technically supposed to be crowned the protector of the Western Roman Empire, or whatever the official title was before the Pope gave it to Charlemagne, was supposed to be the Empress of the Byzantine Empire at the time, or
Oh.
once again, the Eastern Roman Empire, or
I mean,
as they were seeing
Catholicism
themselves
doesn't
as
make an
and
empire, although an
if
empire can
uh,
adopt
if
Catholicism. As far
Thanatos is
as I'm aware,
around,
there are
correct
several
my
rites that apply to
pronunciation or
different
forgive
regions.
it.
Most of us know Roman
Um,
Catholics specifically, but I do expect the
Romanum
Catholic Church no
Basidium or
more creates a Rome
Basilis,
successor than it makes a successor to the
however the
Polish
Greeks
crown
pronounce
next
the
Hold
time.
on.
empire.
Hold on. I just had you and TTS try and go off at the same time, so I was not able to process either.
Basically, how the Byzantines saw themselves as the Roman saw themselves as a legitimate continuation of the Roman Empire, and they actually call themselves the Roman Empire, but in Greek.
Yeah, and Celine just noted, I mean, Catholicism doesn't make an empire, although an empire can adopt Catholicism. As
Yeah,
far as I am aware, there are several rights that apply to different regions. Most of us know Roman Catholic. Most of us know Roman Catholic specifically, but I would expect the Catholic Church no more creates a Rome successor than it makes a successor to the Polish crown.
the only thing I can say technically against that, Celine, is the fact that the whole crowning of Charlemagne by the Pope did create the whole power dynamic circle that was kind of infamous in the Holy Roman Empire, where it was literally a
All
case of
okay
like
if I
the
join?
various Holy Roman emperors and the Pope arguing who was in charge, really.
Hmm. Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm fine with you joining in the VC, Bunny.
But yeah, it's just one of those cases that, yeah, like I understand where she's going at, especially with like the whole, like the Polish, like I appreciate the Polish example.
Yeah.
But but yeah, as I was saying, like if in my case, like maybe if Charlemagne accepted the compromise idea that they proposed, where he would marry the uh Empress of the Holy Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire, I mean not Holy Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire or Roman Empire, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the Byzantine Empire being called Byzantine Empire is a Renaissance invention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. But if they did that, I would probably consider it like the whole. I would probably consider like the Holy Roman Empire as a legitimate continuation of Rome. But in that case, no, not really. Yeah. And even then, there's all sorts of like there's literally debates on who are the successors of Rome to this day. So far, the main contenders are, of course, whoever line would have been the Holy Roman Emperor and stuff. So the Habsburg dynasty is technically
See, I
that.
still think road doing history would be a
They're
stream
the
unto
ones
itself.
who argue the whole entire Byzantine Empire, uh, the Russian Empire, because the Russian Empire actually called itself the Third Rome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it actually has a lot to do with the fact that uh, I want to say it was Ivan the Terrible. Yeah, I want to say it's Ivan the Terrible. He married a Byzantine princess.
Huh.
It was actually part of his like kind of Westernization, Christianization program, since there was still a decent amount of Slavic paganism in the kingdom, since it was still relatively newly Orthodox.
Right.
Actually, that's part of, and even then, part of the reason why it's called terrible is probably because of that. But another part of the reason is it might be a misnomer slash a mistranslation.
Huh.
Yeah, we're still not 100% sure, but Ivan the Terrible is known as Ivan the Terrible, so I'm going to keep with that for simplicity. But yeah, there's people who argue like with him in the beginning of the Romanov. Well, actually, no, the Romanovs will be a little bit later,
Yeah.
but with him and stuff, what calling themselves the Third Rome and everything, and the initial and another argument is the Ottoman Empire, because you know what the Ottoman Empire called themselves initially?
No.
The Sultanate of Rome or Sultanate of Rome,
Huh.
even though they were based in Turkey, well, modern Turkey.
Right.
Because because they were kind of competing for the legitimacy since they were kind of destroying the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to just keep saying Byzantine once again for the sake of simplicity. Personally, I would actually just call it the Roman Empire, but I know a lot of people get confused. So it's one of those cases where you also get the argument like, did the Roman Empire fall in 457, 1453, 1917, or 1918?
History, gotta love it.
History is full of all sorts of complicated bullshit, but I actually do legitimately love it. Celine says she's going to enjoy turning me into a 3D model. I look forward to it. Ugh. After all that, though, I need to get me some tea because now I have cotton mouth.
Oof. Spooky Texas speech noises. Hope you're doing well, Zelda. Actually, right now, Celine did recently redeem turning the TTS off, so if you want it on again, feel free to do the redeem. It kind of needed to be off for a little bit just because we've been going on a massive, like, history tangent.
Okay, what happens when you have a passionate history nerd / major in the thing and everything?
Yeah.
And also, my roommate's cat scared the shit out of me.
Oh no.
Playful little bugger.
Aw.
But yeah, I was like apparently she was on the couch and just basically went right up to my leg. I was like, holy shit, you scared me. But I had my thing muted, so.
Right.
uh,
So we couldn't hear
scary.
you get scared shitless.
Or at least this case scared T-less. Oh, I needed that.
Alright, Yos, what are you thinking of this?
I'm liking so far.
Okay.
And hello, Bunny.
Oh,
There you
Hello.
hi.
But yes, I am liking it so far.
are. Yee.
I am Spooky Bunny.
Spooky Bunny, I think you misspelled cutie bunny.
Nah.
Fight me.
Anyway.
But yeah, as
Life has been something, and I've been burr on Zelda.
I
Burr.
can tell you've been hyper focusing on that game for a long while.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes, my brain's going completely burr, and for being respectful, I am gonna do my best not to say much about it.
Yee, please, and
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, because
Yeah, because I know
I
it's
still
still
technically need to
fresh.
finish Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you're going to Wild first?
Well, yeah, because I mean, I've been taking a break because once again, well, with how my setup is actually in real life for all the games and stuff, it's kind of inconvenient right now to use like say my Switch and everything. Because I only really have my computer screens and the computer with all that stuff plugged in at the same time. So there's a mixture of that, and I also want my best friend, who's a huge Zelda nerd, to watch me suffer through the lightning camel thingy.
Oh no.
Oh, trying to remember its name, but
You
I
want to say
know
Naboris?
I believe that's the name of it, Naboris.
Yeah. So I kind of want him to watch me suffer through that. Cause
Okay. I'm gonna say the boss fight for that is basically just, I guess, like the closest representation of a 1v1.
Because I cannot for the one in the elephant, I'm pretty sure I defeated it in like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that one's easy.
Yeah, because it's just like you're literally basically kind of watery, so I'm going to just assume lightning arrows.
Yeah, and also like all you need is arrows for that medal. Technically spears, but mainly arrows.
But yeah, before I forget, because that one thing earlier, fuck, what was it that I mentioned? Yeah, but yeah, Byzantine Empire is a Renaissance, like calling it how it's being called is more of a Renaissance invention
Huh.
because of the whole Renaissance being rebirthed, and the idea of the rebirth of classical like Roman like literature, stuff like that, Hellenic stuff, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just a case of like everybody's going like, oh yeah, it's been reborn. It's like the Byzantines, aka the Eastern Romans, just going like, we've been here this whole fucking time, and it's just like, do you really count?
That just
Yes.
that
Do
just
you really
makes me
count?
think of like, oh, we have lost so much regarding pagan faith. I'm still fucking here. Sometimes I
Yeah.
think I can hear their voice. We've been living here for hundreds of years under Christian subjugation.
Oh,
Also,
full
thank you
care
for the full
package
care
from the
package.
bunny. Huh. What's that?
Yes, full care.
I'm pretty sure there's an argument to be made that one of the most preserved forms of paganism outside of the various Mediterraneans, such as our favorite Thanatos is Hellenic.
Yeah.
It would be arguably Baltic paganism because it was the last pagan nation to Christianize.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if I remember right, it Christianized literally 105 years before the discoveries of the Americas.
Woo.
So 1300s. Imagine being pagan that long and still surviving. Granted, they had to fight against the Northern Crusades, but that's another story.
Right.
AKA, there's more crusades than just the crusades that we all learn in school.
Right.
Oh, the Poppers Crusade.
There is that, but I was talking about the Northern Crusade, that Thanatos.
Hmm.
Hmm?
That Thanatos what?
Oh, I was responding to what they said. But yeah, the Northern Crusade was literally just, okay, we're going to try and Christianize the rest of the Norse, Finns, and stuff by force. And of course, the Baltics. It's actually part of the reason why the Prussians became German when they were initially a Baltic culture, and why a lot of the ruling houses in the Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania were Germanic for a long time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Lithuanian one being more of a post-fall, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth thing, but still being part of the Russian Empire's case of like, okay, who should we let rule? We shouldn't let nobles who are from that area rule. That would just be ridiculous, because why if they cause a rebellion? It's like, just let the local rule. If he's loyal, he'll be loyal. If he's not, he'll die. It doesn't matter rules. Nobles can be assholes. All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fun.
yeah. But it's like stuff like the Teutonic Order and Livonian orders were in that area. Their own crusader states in the Baltic area, and then when even though Lithuania Christianized, they were still doing a war against them, being like, yeah, we know you Christianized, but fuck you. And it's going like, we Christianized so we can marry the King of Poland. And
What?
fun fact, the King of Poland was Jadwiga, a woman, and it's literally a case where they use a legal loophole to get her as king. And it's literally a case of like, oh, it doesn't say anything that the king has to be a man. Big brain.
Nice.
So the Grand Duke literally married the King of Poland. And then they end up beating the shit out of the Teutonic and Livonian orders. It's like, do you learn your lesson? No, not really. But we're gonna just die.
Just goodbye.
You are the biggest link. Goodbye.
Ugh.
I have a quick question.
Meow.
I'm already blanking on it right now. Joasa?
Yozua.
You could just say Yo's
Joshua.
like they do. Either way.
I know I'm just gonna hop into your Zelda thing real quick. Because like I'm playing this game and it's making, and you say you're playing the game before, and I'm like, I wonder.
I wonder
So
who.
you said you've only beaten the elephant, and you're
No, I
currently
being
going
the
after the.
I being the elephant. I being the bird one, and I being the lizard. I don't remember any of the
Okay.
fucking names.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I don't remember most of them
Yeah.
anyways either. So.
One
But
thing I also
that's
been definitely
interesting.
enjoying is just exploring and getting all the towers and stuff. Not gonna fucking do the whole entire thing with the Korok seeds though. Unless it's
Yeah, no,
That
last
doesn't.
time I
If
remember
you're
it was like 900,
there's
I
999.
believe it was.
yeah.
Is it 999?
All
I
I know
bel
is my
I thought it
best
was
friend.
900.
I
Either
believe it
way,
is 999.
I
And
like I said, either way, my best friend got them all. It's like, dude, for
if I
fuck's
remember
sake.
right, it doesn't
Dude,
even count till like when you're wanting to 100% the game.
no,
I
it
thought it did.
does. Because I've saw a person that's been breaking down the completion percentage. Apparently the Coroxies count to 70% of the completion.
Wow.
God, that's worse than. I honestly have to say that's worse than the achievements for Paradox games.
Mm.
But then again, most people
So
don't play Paradox games for the achievements. They play them for the amazing mods that are 10 times better in the games.
yeah. So I'm assuming you got all your upgrades for your Sheikah slate.
Yes.
Okay, so you have like the radar and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Honestly, have you used stasis on any of the bosses
Not yet.
or
I'm
in
going to
the
guess you're
mini
going to
bosses?
recommend that for Naboris.
Um, not exactly, but it is like pretty useful, despite it being like just like probably a 2 or 3 second pause on the bosses.
By the
I
way, I'll
think
keep in
on mini
mind.
bosses, it's 5 seconds, I think, or 10.
Oh, excuse me. Didn't mean to let that burp come out.
That was a wet burp. Holy shit.
Uh,
Are
it,
you
it, it
okay?
well, no, it wasn't wet or anything. It was more like one of those ones where
It sound,
it kind of just broke up as it came up.
it sounded like a gurgle.
Don't worry, it wasn't. It
A
wasn't.
gurgle.
I thought it would sound more like a growl.
No, that was a gurgle.
uh,
So, so yeah, I've finished Breath of the Wild. I haven't bothered 100%ing it.
yeah, I'm probably not going to do that either because I don't do that
Uh,
stuff. I'm going to at
yeah,
least try and make sure I get all the
Especially,
memory stuff.
especially for Breath of the Wild because 900 Koroks plus going for every single location. No, not my thing.
One
Uh,
question because I did actually when before I got Breath of the Wild, before I got my Switch, I basically watched my best friend play the whole entire fucking game.
mm,
Actually, it's not the only time, the
yeah,
only Zelda game that I watched him play. I watched him play and beat Twilight Princess, God's knows how many times.
Twilight.
I know they're at least on their 60th playthrough.
Damn.
60
I
years of
Twilight
why
Princess.
60?
Besides the fact that that hit was his first Zelda game and his favorite one. Well, I mean, his favorite one now
Oh, that
is
makes
Breath of
more
the
sense.
Wild, and probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom soon. But that one's the one that has the most
Yeah.
nostalgic hit. But
yeah,
yes,
it
something
makes a
about
lot
like
of sense.
60 or something.
I'm
And never gets old because I
I'm just
love watching him play it.
yeah.
I
I have
also
a
love
slight
watching
problem
him
with
play.
Tears of the Kingdom, but it's just a small niche thing for
Well,
it.
my quick question is there like any major like time skip type stuff with Tears of the Kingdom? Because I know
Yeah,
it's.
Tears does have a time skip.
Mm,
They don't say how long of a time skip, but there is a time skip.
mm, ugh. I will say that I'm going to say this. Once you know how to fight the Guardians, well, I'm going to just say this. I feel like I've done multiple war crimes against those poor fucking machines.
Yeah. Oh, have you been to the Forgotten Temple yet?
Is that the one where there's like 16 Guardians that start aiming at you?
Mm-hmm. The one inside the
Uh,
chasm.
yeah, no, not yet. I know, like
Oh.
I actually was watching my friend ride in there, and when all of a sudden, oh, and we were both like, oh fucking hell.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there is a... Oh, one of you are up there. God damn it. There is a shrine in there.
Yeah, I do remember that. It's just like one of those cases, like holy hell, they
And
really.
honestly, it's just like the giant what's it called? Hylia statue that's in there that you can pray to.
Mhm.
It's just like a nice thing to have. Just a giant Hylia statue.
Alrighty.
Nearby town? Oh, it might be. Oh, it is. Found it. Gosh damn it, didn't mean to aggravate you.
Aggravate?
Hmm?
Who's aggravated?
Hmm?
I know, as I heard
No,
aggravate.
no, I didn't say aggravate. I said activate
Oh.
Ah,
because I
and I
Yeah,
thought
I
I heard
heard
activated one.
aggravate.
aggravate,
I'm like, what?
and of course I'm saying it like how my
I
Grammy says it. Aggravate.
I accidentally activated one of my champion's abilities by accident.
Oh.
Oofy.
Oh, I still need to add your tail.
Yeah, you need to let me get some tail. Bad
Nah,
joke.
you don't need a tail.
Okay, I know it's probably not, but I'm curious, Bunny. Is
Tails are
your
a myth.
but out of curiosity, Bunny, is your profile picture supposed to be a gender bit and Ruby Rose?
No, no close.
Okay, it just it kind of reminds me of that character.
Because the scarf, isn't it?
Yeah, the red.
The red scarf. Oh, I just now realized. Do you learn how to shield surf?
I think I've done it a few times, but I don't remember how many times I actually done it. There's another ad now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's all adding up.
Why just what does one ad plus one ad equal? Oh, why do you have the bomb?
One ad plus one ad equals capitalism.
Hmm.
Equals a thrown bomb at my face.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, one of the the freaking not Goblin. What's his name? I'm blanking on the enemy. Not Lionel. It's not Goblin. Blanking on the tall one.
Oh, the giant bokoblin thingies.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Oh, you're so
Remember moblins?
That might be what it is. Yeah, I just a mob just throwing a bomb at me, exploding him and his friend.
Hey, sometimes in life you just need some high explosives.
Honestly, that's like the funniest thing ever. It's just like a mob just chucking a bomb at you.
Hmm.
At this point,
And
he knew
accidentally
he fucked
nuking
up.
everything. You know,
Ugh.
There we go.
Ah,
there you
And now the fun bit, having to add the extra shading detail.
of a tail.
yeah, yeah. I'm just
Ugh.
gonna,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw a bomb at you. Ow.
You threw a bomb at me, so I'm gonna throw one back. Sounds like. Oh fuck! That actually kind of sounds like U.S. and Japan in World War II.
Huh?
No. Yeah, one of the newer enemies had armor, and I'm
Ah.
like, screw it, bomb. Because bomb.
Kaboom!
Honest, honestly, basically just nowadays it's just like when in doubt, bomb it out.
There's political
I was gonna
connotations to
ask if
that,
you
so I'm
ever
not going
see
to
when
touch
I
that.
accidentally
Yeah.
did my CPR instructor one time.
Yeah.
Because there's a video and it almost shows exactly what I did to her, and she was so tiny too.
What's going on over there?
I have no fucking idea because Thanatos is not enunciating.
I said I was gonna ask if you wanted to see what I accidentally did to my CPR instructor one time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what?
We were supposed to demonstrate how to do the Heimlich.
Oh, the Heimlich maneuver?
Oh god, I
Oh,
have
the
a bad feeling
Heimlich.
about this.
The problem is I have poor muscle control, and I was focusing more on technique than whether I was accidentally smacking the shit out of my instructor.
Oi, oi.
So I accidentally smacked the fuck
Oh, hi.
When in doubt, smack it out.
Yeah, and I could tell when we had to demonstrate the other kind, and the other step in the Heimlich maneuver, she was noticeably very nervous.
Just very nervous. It's like as soon as the hands go around, it's like,
Keep in
Fuck
mind,
this.
I am like 5'4". She was like 5 foot and like maybe 120 pounds. Like she was a tiny lady. At this point, I feel bad about it.
Mist is 5'4", more like 5 foot cute.
They are, though.
I'm trying to okay, so when I hear a funny little thing, I don't really remember it because technically it happened when I was still a baby, but this is a story my grandmother and mom like to tell.
Right.
So I was little. It was a hot summer day, and my grandmother, she just put like one of those it was kind of an old timey wash bin, but she just filled up with cold water and just had me sit in it. And she gets back out to the porch while my mom was out there with a fresh glass of Pepsi. Suddenly, I just start peeing, and it goes, and I managed to get the stream at just the right part where it goes smack dab into the middle of that freshly done Pepsi.
Oh no!
oh no!
And according to my mom and Grammy, I was cracking up the whole time.
Dude, I would have been cracking up so hard.
What the fuck just happened?
And my Grammy likes to go like, Josh, like you didn't even let me have a sip of it. Like apparently I knew what I was doing, but I don't remember it.
Just
Way
itty
to go,
bitty
Burr.
baby Yo's was like, I want chaos.
I want chaos. Hear me roar.
I want chaos. No drink for you.
Bye bye, liquid.
Ugh. If I ever do get into streaming more seriously instead of like once every other year,
Every other year.
pretty much like I'm just started thinking like I should probably get a capture card so I could do
Yes.
some games.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I might as well do one of the games I like. Probably the one series that is solely responsible for why I am a furry. And you guessed that series.
uh,
Sly Cooper.
Correct.
oh, fuck. I was going to guess that.
I love, like, when you think about, like, any furry game, it's like, there's only two that pops up in my mind. Sly Cooper and Star Fox.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much like Cooper. Lie, you're to blame.
Oh.
You and your cute ass in the first game, kind of sexy in the second and third.
Alright, well, it is midnight, just a little past midnight, which means we are officially going to be ending stream early for tonight. So let's take a look to see on
Sly
who's
Cooper for a bit.
streaming at the moment, unless we have anyone that is wanting to redeem the Guide the Raid.
I don't have enough points for it from last time.
Okay.
Ow.
Uh,
Quickly, give me mod power so I could quickly cheat myself to have points.
no.
No.
Ooh. I think
Oh,
I know.
Asterisk
One
There's
person.
a few people that we could raid out to. Better question is, are we wanting chill or are we wanting horror?
Or
I mean, either way, I'm probably gonna go to bed myself after this since I have a little bit of early day tomorrow.
I hear Thanatos. I hear Thanatos in the
Yeah.
background being like, "Give me scares. I want spooks."
Rar.
Like, if you want to go for chill with horror, then it's up to you.
hey, I am currently living with a house with I think 2 people who don't like horrors when I am a horror nut. Okay.
Look, I am tolerant of horror. I have a very specific niche of horror that I enjoy.
For me, that specific one is whatever one the mist is considered.
Okay. So you know what?
Not
Before
that
we-
mist. I mean the movie based on the book.
Stephen King.
Fair.
Oh my god, I love The Mist.
Oh my
That's
God.
a fucking amazing one.
Before we
Oh,
raid
I need to
out,
watch more Stephen King. I need
Like
to
that,
read more
yeah.
Stephen King.
before we raid out, let's do our little outro bit. If you guys want to keep up with any updates on the schedule, feel free to check out my Twitter. If Twitter is not your thing, completely understandable. Feel free to check out what used to be a link tree, but it's now a card that has all of my open socials. If you want to be more active and part of the community, feel free to check out the official Discord. Do know that, like the streams here, the Discord is 18+, and know that we are very much LGBTQ+, Spirit plus, neurodivergent, disability, and mental health forward. Do know that when you hop in the server, you have 10 minutes to verify that you have read the rules, otherwise you will be temporarily booted by one of the bots meant to help against hate raids and trolls. If you want to support me financially, there's quite a few ways that you can do that. Either you can donate to me or request a commission via my Ko-fi. You can check out my throne and buy me some gifts. Or, if you don't want to deal with any of those, you can also tip me via Stream Elements. Let's get the raid message out. That is the version for passers-by. Here is the version for followers, and here is the version for subscribers. So, since we have someone enthusiastically in the background wanting to go for horror, let's go see our wholesome degenerate friend, emphasis on the hoe, Lexi Flair, aka Asterisk Official, as she's doing another playthrough of Fear and Hunger. So let's go and give my friend some love.
That sounds so familiar. But
It's been making the rounds lately. The sequel is Fear and Hunger 2 Termina. It's an RPG Maker style survival horror kind of game. There's no level up system. You use heads or tails to determine outcomes of a lot of stuff, such as being able to save, things of that nature. Also, very, very phallic.
Alan?
Just that perk up! That perk up! that perk up.
Ay, ay.
Anything to distract me from fucking CPR, okay?
Well, let's go right over to Lexi. Do you know the while this is the end of stream, this is not the end of our time together, as the road to dust will always be open for another adventure. Please have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in your time zone, as we say. Bye-bye!